My time, and I recognize the ranking member for 5 minutes for the purposes of an opening statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I thank the witness for appearing today. Also like to thank the staff for the stellar performance it has demonstrated in providing us with intelligence on some crucial and critical issues that we'll confront today. I am very grateful for this hearing, Mr. Chairman, because this hearing affords us an opportunity to explain how HUD is being required to do much, much more with much, much less. And I would quote from the IG, who indicates that the department's primary mission is to create strong, sustainable, inclusive communities and quality, affordable homes for all. And that is a noble mission. I would also quote from the IG, wherein it is cited that achieving HUD's mission while exercising the appropriate level of oversight to prevent or mitigate fraud, waste, and abuse continues to be an ambitious challenge for its limited staff. IG goes on to say, over the years, HUD has seen a steady decline in its staffing level, while at the same time, it was called upon to administer an increasing number of programs. At the end of fiscal year 2012, HUD had just over 8,300 staff, compared to about 9,700 a decade earlier, and even greater levels in the 1990s. This has forced HUD to continue to rely heavily on contractors to carry out many of its programs and to expect that local and state jurisdictions and recipients of HUD's funds conduct their own oversight and due diligence. HUD has a success story, but this hearing is not about the successes. HUD has some situations, some circumstances that we have to address. But I don't think we can overlook the fact that HUD is understaffed. I don't think we can overlook the fact that sequestration has had an impact on HUD and is having an impact on many of HUD's programs. I have intelligence indicating that about 125,000 individuals and families could lose assistance provided through the Housing Choice Program and become at risk of homelessness because of sequestration. Further, that sequestration cuts would result in 100,000 formerly homeless people, including veterans, being removed from their current housing or emergency shelter, putting them at risk of being homeless. Further, sequestration to the housing opportunity, cuts could result in 73,000 or 7,300 fewer low-income households receiving permanent and short-term supportive housing assistance. This would be rent and utility assistance. 900 fewer Native American families would not be able to obtain housing loan guarantees. 3,000 vulnerable children would not be protected from lead poisoning. This was just accorded me, and I'm going through it rather hurriedly, but my point is that there is more to the story than meets the eye, and my hope is that the headlines tomorrow will not indicate that HUD has not been diligent in trying to help people and to meet its goals. In fact, I'd like to share just a brief story that is not true, but let us assume that you have a beach that is being patrolled by 2 lifeguards. And let us assume that due to sequestration, one is cut. And we have 1 lifeguard who is patrolling this beach. And we have 3 persons who are in need of assistance. And the lifeguard swims out and he pulls in 2 people. Unfortunately, cannot bring in the 3rd. My hope is that the headlines would not read, "One person drowns while lifeguard is on duty," because there's a lot more that is happening at HUD than what will be presented today. My hope is that the entire story will be told, and I appreciate greatly what the Inspector General has done to present some of both sides of the story. I yield back the balance of my time.